what's up, everybody? Tim here. Today is the day. It's August 30th, 2019, the day that Tool fans have been waiting 13 long years for, and that would be the release of the new studio album, Fear Inoculum. I picked this up this morning at FYE. When I called, they said they had 7 copies, and that was it. By the time I got there, they were down to, I think, 3 or 4. Unfortunately, for my purposes, there was no vinyl option, as I prefer to open up records and stuff when I do my vlogs this way. It's a little more fun. Plus, I watched a little kid open up the CD version that I have here on YouTube the other day. So I'm not the first person to jump on and do this, but it's still kind of fun. It's a pretty big box set. Apparently, there's all sorts of shit in here. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and pull the shrink wrap off. All right. So again, here we have it. This is the new Tool album. If we open it up, see if I can do this on camera best. It has a triple gatefold here. Whoa, and there's things falling out. This is a download card. So apparently there's more than just the 7 tracks that we've been told about all this time. So go on and download that. I noticed on iTunes this morning there was 10 tracks instead of 7. So there's some different stuff on there that you can download if you buy this CD version with this download card here. Hopefully nobody can see that number. It takes mine and downloads mine. First thing you might notice in here is this LED screen. I'm not really sure. Tool's a very visual band. I saw them at Rockville in Jacksonville this year, back in May. Very visual. The band, I guess, it seems like really doesn't want you to pay attention to them, wants you to pay attention to the visual aspect. It's kind of the same deal here. I've never seen this in a CD pack before. This is kind of groundbreaking and new. Not really sure. Obviously I just opened this, so I'm not sure if the music plays along with this or what goes on here. But it does. It has a play and pause button, which I think is kind of neat. There's a volume button. It sounds like the beginning of one of the tunes, probably the title track. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll go ahead and pause that. But that's kind of neat. A video screen inside your CD. If I can get to it. When I saw the little kid do this the other day, he was tearing the package apart. Okay, so inside here is a charger cord for your LED screen, which is kind of cool. Plugs right in here. And then this other end just plugs into any USB port on your computer or your wall plugs or whatever. So that's pretty neat. So again, a nice, cool, groundbreaking, thing in your physical copy of the CD, which kind of helps bring the medium back. We've gotten away from digital media with the exception of vinyl. So, with a CD, you actually get something a little bit new here. I'm assuming this is where the CD is actually housed. In this nice sleeve here. It's kind of neat. There's a CD. Nothing special there, just a CD with some artwork on the front, on the top of it. Alright, so we'll put that back. And then on the other side over here, on the other side of the gatefold, we have this book. As you can see, with typical Tool type stuff on it. Kind of open up and flip through a little bit. It's got some song lyrics. I don't know if that's what's referred to as a lithograph. I'm no artist. But there's different art and stuff inside the CD. And like I said, song lyrics. Pictures of the band members. This is very neat. Nice picture in the center there. There's Maynard. All right. So very cool. So there's a lot of stuff to offer in this CD pack. I was advised earlier today that I was very lucky to have one of these. Maybe, maybe not. But again, there's all sorts of cool stuff in here. And I've gotten to the point where in addition to vinyl, I do collect some box sets and deluxe editions and things like that. And it's kind of fun to come on here and open them up online for everybody. So that's neat. So that's basically everything that comes in the new Tool CD. So kind of talking about some of the music on here. I know a lot of the Tool fans, or Tool nerds as I like to call them, or turds for short, are going to get pissed off at me for saying this. But, the album itself, and this is not a bad thing. This is not a diss on Tool at all. But this album is basically Tool doing Tool things. They did not reinvent the wheel of what they do. It's very typical Tool. It has a lot of that gang kind of shit that you come to, expect from a Tool record. Again, really good record. Don't get me wrong. It's really good. These guys are great musicians. The production is fantastic. But in the end, it's Tool making a Tool album. They didn't. I personally, musically, don't think they necessarily broke any new ground here. But that's not to say that it isn't good. It is a very, very good record from what I've heard so far. For me, I didn't like 10,000 Days a whole lot, with the exception of 2 or 3 songs. I find this album to be a lot better. But one thing I will say that stands out, I don't know if you guys can hear it playing in the background, but there's a song on here called Chocolate Chip Trip. I can't say that very fast. That pretty much features Danny Carey, the drummer. It's like I say, I don't know if you guys can hear it behind me, but it's basically about a 4 or 5 minute drum solo. Kind of a la Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin 2 back 50 years ago. So that's kind of a standout. Something very different. It's completely instrumental, no lyrics. It's just Danny Carey just going off doing what he does. But like I said, it's a good album. Everything else is pretty typical Tool. No complaints there. And that's really about it. It's the first album they put out in 13 years. I'm really glad to see some big rock albums coming out. The Slipknot album just came out a few weeks ago, went straight to #1. I'm hoping Tool will do the same with the new record here. I don't know. I think Taylor Swift just put out a record a week or so ago, so she might still be #1 when this hits the charts. Let's hope not. It's nice to see some good hard rock topping the charts. It doesn't happen very much anymore. Rock, even though it's one of the biggest genres out there on the concert scene, doesn't seem to do much, in record stores, unfortunately. So, even though we're relying on old bands to kind of, maybe get rock back out in the forefront, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Again, go out and pick it up if you can find it. If not, there are digital options. I'm sure it's on Spotify and all the other ones. As Tool, all of Tool's music is now available on the online formats. Again, I think the iTunes version has all 10 tracks as opposed to, I think, the 7 that are on the CD here. I'm going to go ahead and use my download card there and get the entire digital album, including those 3 tracks. Give it a few listens and try to experience the Tool record, as a lot of the Tool nerds say, as opposed to just listening to it. We'll see about that. But again, go out and pick it up. New rock's always a good thing. We're getting into the fall season where you see a lot of, new albums and things come out. There's some other things I've got on the horizon. There's a Whitesnake Deluxe edition of their Slip of the Tongue album, comes out next month. I'm hoping to get either the vinyl or the box set on that so I can do another vlog, where I present that to you guys. I think there's a Stone Temple Pilots, the Purple album, 25th anniversary coming out. So, I may pick that up and put that out here. But these are just the kind of things I like to do. I like to use the vlog to talk about different musical things that are in my brain. But sometimes I just like to use it just to open up deluxe editions of things because I find it fun. So, hope everyone goes out and picks it up. Enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. See you.